What's up there guys, it's Mac, hope you guys are well. Just made myself a cappuccino here, so excuse me while I drink a bit of that as well. Oh, that's good. Anyway guys, basically I need to catch up on a bit of reviews because there's been a bunch of games that I've got and I've not had a chance to review them all, so I'm gonna go through them and try and get as many reviews out of these Switch games as possible, but it's also about trying to complete them as well. I don't want to review a game without completing it fully, and this is the one that I've definitely completed, and I come basically the last few days I've completed quite a few Switch games and I want to basically review them and give them my thoughts. The one that this one's all about is OWLBOY. This game is phenomenal, guys. D-Pad Studio, Desco is the publisher. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, OWLBOY, freaking brilliant game. Beautiful artwork, beautiful art style. It's like an indie type of a title. The details of this game is that it was released originally for the Microsoft Windows platform on the November the 1st, 2016, Mac OS, Linux, and it came to the Nintendo Switch on February the 18th, or February the 13th, 2018. So quite a fair bit after, and then it came to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in April the 10th, 2018. But the Switch had the earlier release, or the mid-release, but originally it was released for the PC a long time ago. So it seems like this game has been on quite a few platforms, but obviously for the Switch you get it to be portable as well, and that's one of the main key features about the Switch, is that you can play these type of games on the go now. The Steam games, indie games, if you want them, the best experience will be on the Switch because they're indie titles, so they're not that graphically demanding and they look beautiful on a 720p screen, as well as on the full 1080p TV mode as well. So, but you can play them on the go. That's one of the main features about it. I was absolutely loving this game, the way it was designed. Excuse me. This game, because it was like a sort of like an indie title, I think they kept the actual language used in this game very like I would say almost like things that you would hear on a normal day basis, a bit of slang. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't all flushed out and like perfect grammar. It was done in such a way where all the studios can sort of get away with sometimes, I think. Again, sorry, I apologize. I don't know how big D-Pad Studio is, but it's an indie title. Imagine it's still like a developing studio, but brilliant lingo in this game. I thought that the actual storyline was all text-based. You could keep pressing A, but the main guy, the main owl, he doesn't talk, and it's just funny the way they talk for him, and then he makes friends on this journey and he's trying to save this area, this world, and the world is really cool. It's basically it's all like it's all islands floating away, and no one understands why that's happening, and you're trying to save these relics, these 3 relics that are basically being hunted by the pirates. You could have basically regather them, and there's a few twists and turns as well on the storyline. I don't want to reveal much. If you haven't played it yet, I would definitely recommend you do, but I don't want to spoil that story. But freaking hell, that final boss was killer. It was so hard. I was stuck on it for so long, literally a good couple of hours at least, I would say. Some noticeable parts in this game, I just think, like look at this bit here. This bit here is when you're riding this huge dragon snake, and it was hard because some of the controls in this game, they do some crazy bits like this where you have to literally go up and down, and you need to just basically just control the D-pad, and this camera's rotating and you have no idea exactly where you're going to be turning to, so you need to coordinate that. I mean, just take a look at this section over here. This is a crazy section here where you're literally driving like a huge dragon, and you have to control it, and the screen's rotating, and you gotta control just the D-pad and just go in different angles and just try not to get killed. And the controls becomes really crazy during these times. And this is just one aspect of it where I was stuck for ages. Man, it is hard. It is crazy. This bit reminded me of, you know, what's my childhood film that I watched, The Never-Ending Story. You know, when you're driving that huge dragon through the clouds. Yeah, it's basically one of those type of setups, and I just thought that was amazing, and it had so much nostalgia, even though I never played this game. But this scene here reminded me of that film, The Never-Ending Story, and I was like in awe. I just thought this was pretty awesome. Anyway, that's just one aspect of it. The type of mechanics that they have in this game is just brilliant. The way you gotta unlock certain aspects of the level, like for example, look at how you kill this enemy over here. He literally has to shoot through that little weapon and then it breaks through. And the way you have to carry the different weapons is basically characters that you pick up and then you got to use them. So the controls takes a bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty sick. But you need to do stuff like this where you can actually break through walls, and the way they design the actual gameplay of this game, it's remarkable. The type of logic behind it, because there's the secrets to unlock certain stuff. I never used YouTube once to unlock it. I just basically tried to figure it out myself, and it was fun to do. And it wasn't too difficult where you got frustrated. You know, you worked it out eventually, and it was just fun to do, and it was interesting. And the way they did it was just I just found it was just really awesome, because it's not something that you would normally find in typical platformers. I think they're literally all out, and the bosses were pretty brilliant as well. There's the one section here I got completely stuck in. This annoying section here, oh my god, the amount of times I died this bit here, it's like, it was ridiculous. You get into the thing, it shoots you off, and then before you know it, that's a shortcut, by the way, I worked out, if you didn't know. But yeah, that kept happening. I kept getting slapped, and then I had to restart this section again where you jump into the turbo and it just shoots you off. And it's like, look at this gameplay here. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, this is part of the game, and you gotta control it by pressing left and right, and it's really hard. As you can see, instantly death. So it's not an easy game. The amount of times I died in that section, it was ridiculous. There's certain sections like that where it's a bit like how it did Diddy Kong Race, not Diddy Kong Racing, what's it, Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, where you're basically on rail and you gotta control it, and you have pretty much just jumping mechanics or directions, and that's about it. And it's like a screen killer, essentially. The screen's moving with you. You can't really control the screen. The speed is the way the screen's moving. So those sections are really hard, and it had a few ones like that, that was one example. And the final boss as well was pretty hard. It just kept on going and going and going, and it didn't want to die. And I'm one of those people that I need to complete a game quite early on, because I don't want it to linger, because if I leave it, and I might not come back to it, and I don't want games to be uncompleted. I'd rather finish off a game. It's just a bit of an OCD of mine, and if I complete the game, at least I know that it's done, and I've experienced most of the game, basically. You know, if I don't go for all unlockables, but majority of the times I want to complete the game, at least in this normal form, in this normal difficulty. Anyway, this game was just brilliant. Even the very first opening level was just gorgeous. The amount of scenes that you go through. One small gripe was the fact that there was no map, so you can't exactly see where you're heading, and a lot of it was about guesswork. So if you see something get unlocked somewhere, or like a treasure chest, you need to basically, it zooms into that section and then goes back, and you need to basically follow it. So follow the angle that it came from, and then you just dive into that direction and just fly through, and then hopefully you get to that area. But a lot of the world was based on, they're all interconnecting islands, and it's a gorgeous artwork and style, and the fact that you can fly and you can speed through reminded me a bit of Gynog, or I think it's called Wing something in the USA, but Gynog on the Sega Genesis, and I just absolutely loved it. It was such a good storyline to go through. and just living that game whilst I was playing it. The enemies, it was so much charm, I would say, behind it. I mean, the way the certain bosses were, just characters you fell in love with. There was just a friendship there that was formed within the characters, and there was treachery, and then they worked it out, and then they joined forces, and a lot of them were there to sort of save this island, save this world, and it's all based upon friendship and a lot of I would say just a beautiful storyline, and a lot of good mechanics were put into this game. I just thought it was really good. It's got a high rating, by the way. I know I'm quite late to reviewing this, but I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's a Nintendo Switch title. I bought it for quite cheap. Here's the price on the screen. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but I got a good deal. I bought it from this website, and yeah, it's on sale, I believe, so definitely a good buy if you want to buy it right now. That like button if you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate all my subscribers, so thank you very much for that. Do check out my other review videos. They will be coming out shortly. Apologies again for having such a late review on this game. I know it's fairly old now, but if you haven't played it and you for some reason skipped it, it's definitely one to play. I mean, just look at that cover. It's just brilliant. The main characters there are, it's just, I can't say too many good things. I can't say any more good things about this game. It's just, you need to try it out for yourselves. It was such a beautiful art style, beautiful mechanics, very interesting mechanics. Some hard parts of the levels of the game were there, and then there were some easy parts, and just navigating through the world, a huge world connecting, going up and down, left and right to different worlds without a map, but still fun to do. So definitely check it out, and I'll see you guys next time.